Welcome back to the show, everybody. And it may be Sunday, but we got a fun day coming. There's a lot to go over. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.49 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 2.2%, 63,500 plus for Bitcoin, 3,200 plus for Ethereum, 110 billion plus market cap for USD Tether. What will happen in the future? And maybe the near term with USD Tether. We'll see. 51 cents for XRP at the number 8 spot. We're up 0.6 on the 24 and off by 1.8 on the 7-day, but that ain't stopping us. It's ranging between 52 and 53 cents. We'll keep an eye on it. Right now, there is 4 days left till XRP Las Vegas. And I want to let you know right now, futureofdigitalassets.com, futureofdigitalassets.com to get your ticket to have private dinner with all of these amazing people. And you know what? I'm going to be there. Digital Assets going to be there. Mrs. Backup's going to be there. It's the Digital Chamber. So Perry Ann Boring, Cody Carbone, and the rest of the team from the Digital Chamber will be there. This is going to be an incredible time. But here's the news you need to know. There's a discount code to get 25% off the ticket, and it is 589. That's your referral code, your discount code. Use 589 when checking out to get your ticket. But here's the news you need to know. Tickets for this event are going up on Monday. The 589 discount code for 25% discount still applies, but the price is going up on Monday. So you need to know those things. So make sure you get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, 4 days till XRP Las Vegas. Oh my goodness. And I'm super excited because I saw that Emmy Yoshikawa is going to be attending XRP Las Vegas. And you know what? I was like, I'm so excited for XRP Las Vegas 24. We have so many incredible surprises waiting for all the attendees. And I'm so excited that Emmy is going to be joining us. And I remembered, because I remember meeting her at Apex Vegas a couple years ago. It was so nice to meet her. We can't wait to connect with you again. And she shared the picture, the selfie that we took together at Apex. Well, Emmy, you may not recognize me because I'm about 40. At that picture, I'm probably 45 pounds lighter. So look for a name tag. No, I'm kidding. It's going to be so great. This is going to be amazing. But this is the kind of connections you can make, and it's just really life-lasting. It is I can't even, you can't unless you come. I know a lot of people think, what's the big deal about a conference? But until you start attending conferences, you just can't really put it into words, the kind of deep connections and empowerment of information that you're going to get while you're there. Right here, let alone the magnitude of everyone being in the same place that is interested in the same thing. Wait till you feel the level of energy. I'm telling you, you've never been at an event that is this positive and high frequency. You just haven't. And until you come, you will know once you come. Let's start right here because there's a lot of shakeups happening in the digital asset space, and I don't think that they're going to stop anytime soon. Ashley Prosper says here, XRP community, I wouldn't be surprised to see the SEC disclose information about Ethereum that goes back to 2014 pre-ICO in response to the lawsuit from Consensus. Remember, they already disclaimed Citizen Hinman in the Ripple case. And they have an Office of Inspector General report on Hinman and ETHgate ready to drop at any moment. She's absolutely right here. And I wanted to highlight the fact that, it was Jay Clayton, it was William Hinman that were there at the time of ETHgate, right? Gary Gensler came in after. He was at MIT when all of this was going on. But we have to remember, I doubled down. I think she's right here. I think Ashley's got this. Gary Gensler went there during ETHgate, plus Gary Gensler went to MIT during ETHgate and Free Pass, and I don't think he'll care that it all comes out. He'll take credit for cleaning up the mess without mentioning he always thought ETH was it was centralized all the way back to his days of teaching at MIT. That's the kind of calamity we're in here. This Free Pass that happened for Ethereum is a mess. And listen, And I'm not saying this as a maxi. I say this as a United States citizen, as an American patriot. The way this was done was giving favor to a network, right? We just heard yesterday about how all the developers on the Ethereum network are now scared because now they're being investigated individually as well as the actual larger picture here. And this is exactly what I've talked about. This is why, it's not all about the developers. It's all about the entire community. The entire community is at risk. Brad Garlinghouse is not a developer, but you know what? His ass got targeted. Chris Larson got targeted. Ripple got targeted, right? I mean, that's the thing. That's why clarity is the logjam here. Make no mistake about it. What is the difference? Look, there is already a regulated internet and the dark web. What's the difference? One's regulated, the other one isn't. The whole idea of Gary Gensler's approach, from where I'm standing, is to establish exactly that. We are moving from the internet of information that we currently are using right at this moment to the internet of value. And the only way to establish the regulated internet from the dark web is to create a period of time that everyone in the world recognizes that was the unregulated era. Now that we have the Telecommunications Act, 1996, wink, wink, the internet took off in a regulated fashion. That's where it all started. So again, stablecoin legislation, looking at today, we get that passed. I believe that becomes that same moment for the early days of the internet as it will for distributed ledger technology and the tokenization of real world assets. That's what we're looking at. But there's a lot yet to be done. Then take a look at this. Lynn Alden shares U.S. prosecutors say Bitcoin is money. It's Schrodinger's money. It's a speculative asset when they want to describe it as non-important. But then it becomes money for the purposes of laws regarding money transmission, and then back to a speculative asset again, as you can see in the demonstration written here. So, James Meta Lawman Murphy says exactly what I've been saying since Ripple's been sued. And everybody's confused what I've said as maxi talk, but it isn't. He says, I understand they are busy running up the debt. He's talking about the government, approving warrantless searches and keeping our borders open. But maybe Congress should find some time to pass laws to clear this all up. That's exactly right. There are many different ways and examples where you could find Bitcoin described as a speculative asset and that it is money, that it isn't money. And I said this probably a year ago on a Twitter space with the Digital Chamber of Commerce, which is now the Digital Chamber, and some other Bitcoin people that were in there at the time. And my concern is why is it no one thinks Bitcoin could be targeted? This is Gary Gensler we're talking about here. And listen, this isn't about whether I think Bitcoin's good for payment. We know Bitcoin's not really good for payments, right, in its current state. And that's okay, because people like it to hold it like they do gold, right? That's fine. But I'm not taking a swing at it. I'm just saying let's understand what its strength has become, right? So understanding that, I got it. Okay, and as long as BlackRock and Fidelity are holding it and allowing their clients to invest in it, that's my signal that I can have exposure to it too, because I try to stack my pennies next to their dollars, whether I feel good about the asset or not. I'm trying to make money, right? So at the end of the day, that's how I see this. But this is why I have said for so long that this diagram right here is very, very pertinent to understand. The SEC crypto war strategy is to sue each different type of technology and value protocol and use case to get legal clarity. Ethereum's up on the docket. DeFi money market already been hit. BlockFi got hit. Ripple's been hit. That may give clearance to Stellar and XLM because it's very, obviously it is a copy of the technology. even though one's for profit and one's nonprofit. NFTs ain't really been hit hard yet. They've had a couple cases, but the thing is they keep going for this legal precedent. And at some point, somebody has to sue a proof of work technology, whether it's Bitcoin or otherwise, to get some kind of legal definition on it. Ethereum's up the bat right now with the proof of stake issue, right? I'm telling you, this diagram is super, super on top of what's going on. And once they get legal rulings in all these different types of technology and business models, that's when Congress will do legislation for the entire space. You watch. And we know also that Volpay, Ripple partner, process module, and its benefits to Ripple Connect. But all of this stuff, and I'm not going down into this today. We know Volante's been a Ripple partner and using in their tech stack for years, right? This is not breaking news. I'm showing this to you because in order for the world to move to using this technology in their processes, inside their financial system and business models, we're going to need to clear some things up. And like Smoke Dog has been going on about for a few weeks now, for the right reasons, I might add, under existing UCC, which is Uniform Commercial Code. See, there's many different layers of connecting and building the infrastructure that Ripple has been building for more than a decade inside the back end of the financial system. Doing the work that no one else wants to do. Doing the work while everyone else does pump and dump projects, right? Or says it's all about the builders, and that is probably code for it's all about the pump and dump tokens if you're not careful. Not everybody's that way, but you need to know some are. But the reality is Ripple's had their head down building market infrastructure on the back end of the entire financial plumbing system. How do we know that? Because this is Jess Chang, former Ripple legal counsel specialized in UCC Article 4A, which is allowing for all of these things to work together in the new financial system and plumbing rails involving distributed ledger technology and obviously the core of the FedNow system. Just take a quick listen of Jess Chang, former Ripple legal counsel.
So I am the vice chair of the Payments Subcommittee of the UCC Committee.
The Payments Subcommittee of the UCC Committee. Okay, so one of our substantive committees here in the business law section is dedicated to all aspects of the Uniform Commercial Code, and you are affiliated specifically with its Payments Subcommittee.
That's right.
How about that? And I'm sure that's an accident, right? You know, it just so happens that Jess Chang, former legal Ripple counsel, is really the head of that. I mean, you can't make this up. Come on, you guys get where this is, right? UCC Article 4A equals all FedNow transfers. I mean, we can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're talking about, right? This is what we're talking about. So, look, none of this stuff can happen unless all these little T's and I's are dotted and crossed. And who is always at the table to make sure that these things happen? Ripple. And why would they need to do it now? Because the Federal Reserve has gone to $34.5 trillion problem, and it's still growing. JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America suffered a $4.5 billion loss as an unrecoverable debt source. You cannot continue to take those kind of hits. You can't have those kind of bad weekends. Because this is the real moment of time that we're in. Ray Dalio is going to tell you.
Indicators of when a fiat currency is going to decline into collapse is when those who are holding its debt sell the debt, and the government, central bank, has to print money to buy that debt in large size while that's going down.
Okay, let's stop right there. And we know the real problem is, and every world leader knows it, I've showed you this diagram before, the last 5 global reserve currencies since 1450. Britain, France, Netherlands, Spain, and Portugal. USA just hit 80 years. 2 of the last 5, Netherlands and Portugal, had a lifespan of 80 years. So whether we make it to 105 or 110 years or 95 years like the other currencies, now is the time to make the change, right? Now's the time to make the change. So what do we know? Here's what we know. Remember what Ray Dalio said? A signal of a currency collapse is when the other countries start selling the debt off, and your country has to print money to buy that debt back. That's exactly what's happening right here. And Sean McBride, I believe, is right. This is just the beginning. China and Russia, right? Or China and Japan. He's showing here with this the thing. So China dumped $74 billion worth of U.S. Treasuries in 1 year. Isn't that what Ray just said? Isn't that what Ray just said?
Going to decline into collapse is when those who are holding its debt sell the debt, and the government, central bank, has to print money to buy that debt in large size while that's going down.
Yeah. $74 billion worth of U.S. Treasuries dumped by China. At one point, they had $3 trillion worth of U.S. Treasuries, well under $1 trillion now. Then we see Ross Lacow here from the IMF, who has also got an incredible track record, also spent time at the BIS as well. We see massive connections there. We know Ross has highlighted that Ripple is really giving guidance to one of the largest financial entities on earth.
We are engaging very closely with the private sector and the industry, and last year put in place a high-level advisory group of industry leaders from the private and public sectors to help guide us in our work on fintech. I'm very happy to say that Chris Larson, one of the co-founders of Ripple, and Sapnendo Mohante from the Monetary Authority of Singapore are both part of that group, and we're very grateful for the advice that they give us.
Giving great advice to the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. Imagine it. You're not calling us. Ripple joins the BIS Task Force for Cross-Border Payments. Are we all seeing where this is going? Like I said, it may be Sunday, but it's a fun day. And how are we going to get to a $200 trillion market cap in the next decade? Because Egg Crypto is showing us it's on the charts, baby. Well, to me, the way you get there is through that stable coin bill, because that stable coin bill is really a tokenization bill. And we know the larger part of the world is the traditional economy and all the financial products that exist inside of it. And every one of those things has to be a payment of some sort at some point, a transfer or a payment made, right? So at the end of the day, this is going to get real interesting, but not until, I believe, it starts with the stablecoin bill, and then we're going to still see multiple rounds of cases brought against different technologies in this space to harness it, get those legal precedents in place. So then eventually, after a few years, you will see Congress write crypto legislation more broadly and more specifically tailored to all the other instruments out here outside of payments. And we'll see what goes on when we get there. Right now, we're going into the freedom zone, not financial advice of me or anyone else. And boy, oh boy, are you going to want all of this, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to love every single bit of this. And why you won't want a Chinese yuan for a global reserve currency, I know most of you know, but wait till you see what I'm about to show you today inside the freedom zone. Not financial advice of me or anyone else. Go to digperspectives.com, click the freedom zone, and come on in. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is super disturbing.